What if I told you that one of the biggest financial mistakes people make doesn't feel like a mistake at all? It feels like self-care. It feels like a reward. It feels deserved. Think about the last time you told yourself, I've worked hard this week. I deserve this. Maybe it was a new pair of shoes. A weekend getaway. Food delivery after a long day. Or that new phone you weren't planning to buy until next year. None of those purchases seem dangerous. In fact, most of society encourages them. But here's the uncomfortable question. What if treating yourself is quietly keeping millions of hardworking people from ever becoming financially free? Today, I want to tell you the story of someone named Alex. Alex isn't bad with money. He doesn't gamble. He isn't obsessed with luxury brands. He works hard. Pays his bills. Shows up every morning. From the outside, his life looks successful. But 5 years after getting a much better paying job, he still checks his bank account before payday. He still feels stressed every time an unexpected expense appears. And the reason isn't what most people think. By the end of this video, you'll understand why one simple phrase, treat yourself, can quietly become one of the most expensive habits you'll ever develop. Alex is 30 years old. He lives in Denver, Colorado. He works as a marketing analyst for a growing company. His annual salary is around $72,000. 5 years ago, this number would have sounded unbelievable. Back then, Alex had student loans, an old car that barely started in winter, and a tiny apartment where the rent consumed almost half his paycheck. He used to think, once I make real money, life will finally feel easier. Today, he earns more than he ever imagined. After taxes, retirement contributions, and health insurance, Alex takes home about $4,400 every month. That sounds comfortable. At least on paper. But every month follows almost the exact same pattern. Rent, $1,750. Car payment, $420. Insurance, another $180. Utilities. Internet. Phone bill. Almost $350 combined. Student loan payment, $320. Groceries. About $500. Subscriptions he barely notices anymore. Nearly $120. Before Alex has even thought about enjoying his life. Almost $3,700 has already disappeared. That leaves him with roughly $700. Not terrible. Not amazing. Just enough to feel like there's room to breathe. And that's exactly where the story changes. Every Friday, something interesting happens. Alex finishes work. He's mentally exhausted. His phone lights up. His friends want to meet for dinner. Someone suggests drinks afterward. On the way home, he orders an Uber instead of taking the train. Saturday morning starts with a specialty coffee. Later that afternoon, he walks into Target just to buy toothpaste. He leaves with a candle, a hoodie, some kitchen gadgets, and snacks he never planned to buy. Sunday arrives. Cooking feels like work. Food delivery sounds easier. By Monday morning, nothing feels unusual. Nothing feels irresponsible. Nothing feels expensive. But here's the question. If none of these purchases are the problem, then why is Alex still financially stuck? The answer has almost nothing to do with money. And almost everything to do with psychology. A month later, Alex gets a small bonus at work. For a moment, he feels relieved. Finally, some extra money. But within 2 weeks, it's gone. Not because of an emergency. Not because someone stole it. It simply disappeared into dinners, online shopping, concerts, and small upgrades that all felt justified. Have you ever experienced that? You receive extra money. And somehow your financial situation looks exactly the same 30 days later. It's frustrating. Because you know you're working hard. You're earning more than you used to. Yet financial peace always feels just out of reach. That feeling isn't unique to Alex. Millions of people across America and Europe experience the exact same thing. Not because they are lazy. Not because they are bad with money. But because they are playing a game with rules they never realized existed. Modern life constantly tells us something. You deserve better. You've earned this. Upgrade your life. Every advertisement sells more than a product. It sells a feeling. A better version of yourself. A nicer apartment means you've made it. A newer car means you're successful. A premium phone means you're moving forward. The message is subtle. Success should always look visible. And if your income increases, your lifestyle should increase too. This is called lifestyle inflation. Not because your bills suddenly explode, but because your definition of normal quietly changes. 5 years ago, a $5 coffee felt expensive. Today, it barely registers. Food delivery used to be a luxury. Now it feels like convenience. Streaming subscriptions used to be one. Now there are 6. Every expense seems reasonable. Until they are all added together. Let's do some simple math. Suppose Alex spends about $15 every weekday on coffee, snacks, or lunch upgrades. That's around $300 every month. Add another $250 for food delivery. Around $200 in impulse shopping. And maybe $250 for weekends out with friends. That's roughly $1,000 every month. Now here's the part almost nobody calculates. If Alex invested that same $1,000 every month, earning an average annual return of 8%, and kept doing it consistently for 30 years, he wouldn't have saved $360,000. Because investing isn't just about saving. It's about compounding. His investments could grow to well over $1.4 million. Think about that. The expensive part wasn't the coffee, or dinner, or online shopping. The expensive part was giving away decades of compound growth. That's the cost nobody sees. Because compound interest is invisible. Until enough time has passed, financially intelligent people aren't people who never enjoy life. They travel. They eat out. They buy nice things. But they think differently. Before buying something, they don't just ask, can I afford this? They ask, what is this replacing? Because every dollar has a job. Spending it today means it can't build tomorrow. That doesn't mean never treating yourself. It means making sure your rewards stay rewards, instead of quietly becoming expectations. The goal isn't deprivation. It's awareness. Because once luxury becomes normal, you'll always need a little more just to feel satisfied. And that's a race with no finish line. Alex's story doesn't end with him cutting out every coffee or deleting every shopping app. It ends with something much simpler. He started noticing the stories he told himself before spending money. I deserve this. It's only $20. Everyone else is doing it. Once he recognized those patterns, his financial decisions slowly changed. Not overnight. Not dramatically. Just consistently. And over time. That consistency mattered far more than any single purchase ever could. Because financial freedom isn't built by one perfect decision. It's built by thousands of ordinary ones. If this video gave you a different way to think about money and the psychology behind spending, consider subscribing. Every week, we explore the habits, behaviors, and financial decisions that quietly shape our future.